All right, call meeting to order. Technology committee. Yeah, hardware purchase update.
Hi everyone. Under the hardware purchase update, I just wanted to make you aware and then just ask for feedback and just look at a couple of items. Last December, we started updating our network infrastructure, and what I guess I'm asking you guys to consider or to decide on is the next piece is to look at our servers that are running basically everything in our organization, as well as the SAN. We have, we're running 4 servers. Out of those, I have 1 that's out of warranty, and 2 that will be coming up for warranty ending in it says 200 days. So they were purchased in '07. Again, for servers, that's not an old server. I guess age-wise it's old, but where it's really lagging is we're seeing performance issues from all the different things we're running. And everything in-house, from Moodle to our student information system to group-wise, so that just we've added memory to them in the past. We've spent about $5,000 in added memory in the past. I have renewed their warranties already once, so I'm just asking, I guess, to consider that. And I was hoping to have numbers. I have ballpark numbers, but I was hoping to have more detail. I'm still waiting on that one other vendor to get back to me on that. Just for awareness, I've been looking at this, and it's not just something that just happened. I've been looking at it since June, just talking with colleagues, looking at different solutions, and just kind of going along and seeing what's the best way to proceed. That's the one piece, and the other piece is the storage unit. Looking at that and making both of these basically a forklift upgrade, so it's going to affect how we run our organization and what kind of products we're delivering to our end users. So it'll be a big impact as far as how long it takes to migrate, should we choose to go down that route. I usually planned it out, sat down, looked at it, five-week migration process should we decide to go down that route to go ahead and update those 2 pieces. Again, it's part of the whole infrastructure update that we put the networking, and this is the next part that we need to kind of address and take a look at. What I asked the vendors to do is, if they could provide, or if they're able to give all the equipment up front as an option, and I've spoken with Chris about budgeting purposes and looked at the servers. We could probably put the server piece in the budget this year. I've asked them if they could provide both and delay billing on the SAN portion, because that's a bigger cost than the servers will be. So I just want to keep that in front of you. And I have 2 vendors that are willing to give us both products and delay billing without financing fixed charges on the SAN. So I'm waiting to hear back from one more vendor on that piece. So,
On the servers, you said one's going to be going to warranty 2007-ish.
they were purchased in 2007, yeah.
Okay, you have 4 hard servers?
I do.
Okay. So, we're going to put those on a rotation cycle?
I do. The one is, like I said, they're expired. We can certainly do that. And the problem with that is we're going from PMD processors to Intel processors. We can't mix when we're virtualizing. When I say that is, when you have all of them on the same processor, you can, if one was to go down, they would go ahead and migrate over and just keep running. But we can't have a mixed environment, so that's why I'm looking at a full replacing that once to get into the Intel or the same product. So
Okay, and if you don't change them out?
we can keep plugging them away. It's just we're already seeing performance issues, if you will. I mean, servers are just kind of migrating back and forth. I mean, we can keep them running for sure. I strongly look at least within the next year, if we don't do it now or this year, I would certainly need to start looking at it for sure.
Okay. But you can add another server, hard server, virtualize some other things, move things over, and limit what you're pushing through those servers.
I certainly could, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, rack space.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
My more question is the SAN. We looked at this 5 years ago now, we were talking about, should we replace the SAN?
Yes, and that where I'm looking for direction on that is, in past committees we talked about, it was thrown out, do we want virtualizing the desktops. So basically, using old equipment and pushing out, letting the servers run all of the processing and just give you a screen to the end user. So the processing is taken out of the machine and it's all done at the back end. That really is going to be if that's something you're considering or even thinking about, then that will affect the cost of which route we go with servers.
I don't think it's there now, because if you go to Android route, you come up with all from the notebook app. So if we have that, we limit, most of the stuff is going off the web anyway, so it's web-based.
Sure.
The Android's taking care of it, I think the desktop becomes a weak point of that. Right?
And that's perfectly fine. Like I said, that one factor actually will hinge up on which direction we go and what the costing will be.
Yeah, the virtualization would kind of push it.
Right. And it would also affect me going from Novell and moving over fully to Microsoft as well.
Yeah, your SAN server, what's the age of that right now?
We purchased that in 07 as well. I mean, that's where we virtualized, everything in 2007.
But you've been replacing and swapping disks on that anyways.
Discs, yep. And HP is no longer producing that model anymore. Obviously, that doesn't, we can still get discs, it's still under warranty, but that product is no longer being, in production.
Natural basing it. Okay.
I would hope that you would give some initial costs and some, and your direction, your suggested direction,
Absolutely.
and then maybe some options,
Yeah.
There's always going to be a little bit of sticker shock, and so it's good to give us, not hand it to us and say, okay, I need this proof next month.
Absolutely, yep. I wanted to give all the vendors a fair chance, so I'm just waiting on that. They couldn't give me the financing piece, if you will, so I wanted to make sure that they all have a fair chance at that.
And we have our email addresses, you can always send us a...
Absolutely.
Well, the other thing, if correct me if I'm wrong, a few years back, we had a very limited number. We had too many servers, current servers, then we switched down to virtualization on a limited number of servers. Now we're kind of going back the other direction again. Does it hurt us to have more newer servers doing smaller tasks and thereby having higher throughput?
So what I would look at is, I would replace the 4 with only 3 servers running our whole organization. So I would minimize and go down to 3. Any other questions? I'll definitely email you. They should get back to me soon, so I'll definitely